long this bridge is, completely crossing this entire street here at Florida International University, and what it looks like on the ground. As you can see, first responders all around this bridge. The Florida Highway Patrol does not have too much information to release at this time. As you can imagine, they are still just trying to process this entire scene. But they are reporting that multiple people have died as a result of this incident, and that 5 to 6 vehicles are actually trapped underneath this bridge. Let me go ahead and show you this aerial view just one more time here if you are just joining us. Right in the middle of your screen as the helicopter zooms in, now right to the right of your screen, you can actually see a vehicle that was crushed by this bridge. Front portion of the car completely crushed, and the back of the car actually lifted up a little bit just due to the impact of the bridge. So again, 5 to 6 cars, we are being told, that are completely destroyed by this bridge. Unknown number of deaths at this time. As you can see, first responders on the scene, really just trying to see if there's anyone that they could possibly rescue at this point. If you were watching with us earlier, we saw firefighters right on top of the bridge, really just trying to see if there's anyone that was possibly trapped that they could just possibly reach at an arm's reach. We saw first responders treating some folks right on the street, right next to the bridge. But again, we are anticipating a press conference here pretty shortly. Not sure exactly when, but we would imagine a press conference is going to happen. Governor Rick Scott has been briefed on the incident, and we will continue to bring you here live pictures from Florida International University.
I'll just hedge it in a certain way, in case you're going to put them somewhere you don't want.
Ahí pues fue que pusieron ahí sábado, ahí. Oh.
All right, right now we're continuing to monitor the situation here in Miami. We're at Florida International University, where Florida Highway Patrol is reporting that multiple people have died as a result of this bridge collapse. Right now, you're looking at aerial pictures from our affiliate in Miami. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like from the ground here. This is from affiliate WPLG in Florida, looking at live pictures of this bridge collapse at Florida International University. Florida Highway Patrol spokesman is reporting that multiple people have died as a result of this bridge collapse, and that 5 to 6 vehicles were trapped underneath this bridge when it collapsed here just a couple of hours ago. Let me go ahead and bring you back to these aerials so you can see exactly how big and long this bridge is. From reports that we were receiving, this was a pedestrian bridge that was used or going to be used to for students to go ahead and walk from off-campus housing to FIU. Again, we don't know the exact number of casualties in this incident. Florida Highway Patrol is just telling us that there are multiple deaths that are involved, and that about 6 vehicles were crushed underneath this bridge. So again, we will continue to bring you aerial pictures here, and as well as ground pictures from our affiliate WPLG in Florida. All right, right now you're continuing to look at live pictures. This is a ground shot from WPLG in Florida. And here's that aerial that we were showing you here just a little bit ago. You can see live pictures of this bridge collapse at Florida International University. Right at the center of your screen is that car that was completely crushed by this bridge collapse. We are being told that is one of 6 vehicles that was crushed by this collapse here at Florida International University just a couple of hours ago. Limited information that we can provide right now. Florida Highway Patrol is saying that several people have died in this incident here this afternoon, and that, again, 5 to 6 vehicles are actually trapped underneath this bridge. We were reporting earlier that an unknown number of people are trapped underneath the bridge. We are still working to gather some more details on that, but we are hoping for a press conference here shortly. But as you can imagine, this is a fluid scene where multiple agencies are responding. As you can see, live pictures from WPLG. Firefighters all around this bridge just trying to do everything that they can to possibly rescue anyone that is underneath this rubble of this bridge at Florida International University. If you are familiar with FIU, we are being told that this bridge, as I bring you back these aerial shots, is actually a pedestrian bridge, and that it was designed to bring students from off-campus housing to the FIU campus. As you look at live pictures with me, you can see this bridge is really right in the middle of an intersection here, right at FIU's campus. So these drivers who are on this road possibly might have been sitting at a red light when this bridge just suddenly just collapsed right on top of their vehicles. You can see right to the right of your screen as you look at this helicopter shot. Excuse me, that is the White House. Let me go ahead and pull up that ground shot real quick. You can see on this ground shot that firefighters are still on the scene here, obviously trying to find anyone that they possibly could that might be trapped underneath that rubble. Just give me 1 second here. Let me get you that live picture again from that aerial shot from Florida. As you continue to look at live pictures of this bridge collapse at Florida International University, I wanted to recap this situation that we have quickly. We did just get a statement from FIU that I did want to share with you. Again, if for any new viewers that are just joining us here, Florida Highway Patrol is reporting that multiple people have died as a result of this bridge collapse at FIU here this afternoon in Miami. Florida Highway Patrol spokesman says that there are 5 to 6 vehicles that were crushed underneath this bridge. And we are being told that Florida Governor Rick Scott is being briefed continuously on the incident by the Miami-Dade County Police Chief. In a statement that was released from the university, it says, quote, FIU is shocked and saddened about the tragic events unfolding at the FIU Sweetwater pedestrian bridge. At this time, we are still involved in rescue efforts and gathering information. We are working closely with authorities and first responders on the scene. CNN is reporting that this bridge was just installed on Saturday, And according to a fact sheet about the bridge on the FIU's website, it cost $14.2 million to build. And it was designed to withstand the strength of a Category 5 hurricane. And that is according to the fact sheet. And it continues to say that the bridge was supposed to last for more than 100 years. So again, let me go ahead and just repeat for you the statement from the university. This is from Florida International University. It says, in quote, "It is shocked and saddened about the tragic events unfolding at the FIU Sweetwater pedestrian bridge. At this time, we are still involved in rescue efforts and gathering information. We are working closely with authorities and first responders on the scene." All right, right now you're continuing to watch live pictures of the bridge collapse that happened this afternoon at Florida International University here. You're looking at live aerial pictures from Miami. We are expecting a press conference to begin here shortly. We'll go ahead and bring that to you live. Florida Highway Patrol has provided some context on this bridge collapse. We hope to get some more specific numbers from this press conference that should happen after the top of the hour. Florida Highway Patrol spokesman has reported that there are 5 to 6 vehicles that are trapped underneath this bridge at Florida International University. You can see just to the center, if you're looking at that crane, right to the center of your screen, right to the right of that crane is actually a vehicle that was crushed by the bridge. You can see the front portion of the vehicle crushed by the bridge, and then the back of it was not actually touched at all. And if I'm looking at it close enough, you can actually probably see that there are 2 car doors open on that specific vehicle. So hopefully both individuals in that car were able to get out safely. Unfortunately, the Florida Highway Patrol is reporting that multiple people have died as a result of this bridge collapse. And as you look at it with me here live, it appears this bridge was really just in the middle of this intersection here at FIU. So these folks that were driving here right at Florida International University's campus possibly could have been sitting at this light when the bridge just suddenly just came collapsing on top of them. So let me go ahead and show you what it looks like from the ground. This is an aerial shot. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, first responders with Miami-Dade Fire Department on the scene here where this bridge just completely collapsed on this street here just a couple of hours ago. About an hour ago, we did hear from an eyewitness who talked with ABC News, and she said essentially that the bridge, when it collapsed, it sounded, and the intensity was in similarities to an earthquake. It was just so loud and so forceful. She said that she saw multiple cars trapped underneath the bridge as well. That was coming from somebody who was near the scene of this bridge collapse. So I'm continuing to watch the feeds. Once we do get the live picture from the press conference, we'll bring that to you. But we'll continue to bring you live pictures here of this bridge collapse that happened at Florida International University in Miami just a couple of hours ago. As we continue to look at live pictures from Miami, you're looking at the bridge collapse that happened several hours ago at Florida International University in Miami. I did want to show you just a quick picture. It appears that the photographers and the media that is at that scene in Miami are in position for a press conference. We'll go ahead. I'm going to continue to monitor that scene. I will bring that to you live once I do see public information officer coming to the scene. Looks like they're just putting the finishing touches on making sure that everyone is in place to get this information. But if you are just joining us here, let me go ahead and recap for you the situation that has unfolded at Florida International University here this afternoon. Florida Highway Patrol is reporting that there are multiple people that have died as a result of this bridge collapse in Miami here this afternoon. Florida Highway Patrol is also reporting that 5 to 6 vehicles are actually trapped underneath this bridge at FIU. According to this fact sheet from FIU, this was a pedestrian bridge that was designed to transport or have students, walk across from the campus to off-campus housing or vice versa. And according to the fact sheet, this bridge actually was installed on Saturday. So this bridge not even a week old, and it collapsed right in the middle of this intersection at Florida International University. As you continue to look at live pictures from our affiliate in Florida, you can see where this bridge collapse is really just in the middle of this intersection. If you look closely, you can see a car that is actually that was crushed. The front portion of the vehicle was actually crushed by this bridge. That was one of 5 to 6 vehicles that Florida Highway Patrol is telling us that was involved in this incident here this afternoon. We do not know the exact number of casualties. We are expecting some detailed information from first officials in Miami during this press conference that should get underway here momentarily. Again, once we do see the public information officer that is representing this this collapse, we will go ahead and bring you those live pictures. But in the meantime, we will continue to monitor the scene here as you look at live pictures from Florida International University, where there was a bridge collapse here just a couple of hours ago. All right, right now, as you continue to look at live pictures, this bridge collapse at Florida International University, Looks like this press conference will be happening here momentarily. You can see the journalists and the photographers who are on the scene here. Looks like they are getting in place for a press conference, and we will bring that to you once the public information officer in Miami starts giving information. In the meantime, if you are just joining us, let me go ahead and recap for you what has happened here in Miami today. Limited information, and again, we're hoping for some more information at this press conference here that should begin at any moment. Florida Highway Patrol is reporting that sadly there are multiple people that have died in this bridge collapse at Florida International University here in Miami this afternoon. Florida Highway Patrol is reporting that 5 to 6 vehicles were crushed by this bridge that completely just collapsed in the middle of this intersection at FIU's campus. As you look at live pictures from the helicopter in Miami, you can see they now have a crane on the scene surrounding the bridge are first responders, and you can see pretty clearly just to the right of that crane is a car that was crushed by the bridge. Fortunately for it appears fortunately for these folks that were in that vehicle, it looks like they were able to open both of their car doors on the passenger side and on the driver's side to get out. But if they were just any closer, a couple more feet, they would have been in a rough situation at that point. We are being told that 5 to 6 vehicles were crushed by this bridge. We don't know the exact number of casualties, but again, Florida Highway Patrol is saying there are multiple deaths involved in this incident. Right now, it appears that the press conference should be getting started here. Again, here momentarily, that's a live picture of where this press conference will be starting. And again, we will bring you live pictures once that press conference begins.
Companies involved in the design and construction of this bridge, and at this time both of them sending their condolences, sending out their well wishes, and just how upset they are with this situation. But obviously this is all very preliminary as we work to learn more about what led to this tragedy, and within moments, within minutes perhaps, we do expect to get an update from Miami-Dade Police and Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, and I'm going to send it back to you guys now because I'm having difficulty hearing on my end, so I'll let you take it from here and we'll bring you an update as soon as we get one.
All right, right now you are still continuing to look at live pictures of this bridge collapse at Florida International University. We are being told that this press conference should be happening here momentarily. I'll go ahead and show you what the scene looks like from the grounds. You can see first responders on the scene, but again, we are expecting a press briefing here very shortly. We do have some limited information that we can pass along to you from the Florida Highway Patrol. Florida Highway Patrol is releasing the following information. They're telling the media that multiple people have died as a result of this bridge collapse at Florida International University, and that there are still, there are 5 to 6 vehicles that are trapped underneath this bridge. As you look at live pictures from the helicopter, you can see that vehicle just to the right of the crane that was the front end of it destroyed by this bridge. If you've been watching with us earlier, you saw an ABC News special report where an eyewitness was talking to ABC News, and she heard and saw this bridge collapse, and she said that the extent of how impactful and how loud this bridge collapse was she thought there was an earthquake. That was just how powerful she said that the crash was, and how loud it was. That she said it was, equivalent to an earthquake. Now, this pedestrian bridge was reportedly just installed on Saturday, and it was a pedestrian bridge that was intended to bring students from the FIU campus to off-campus housing. It was supposed to just sort of relieve some stress on traffic and get pedestrians over this busy intersection right here. As you look at live pictures, you can see this bridge is really just in the middle of this intersection where you can see that car that is right to the right of the crane. This car possibly might have just been sitting at a red light at that left turn lane, and that bridge just suddenly just collapsed. So we are hoping for some more details from first responders at the scene. Again, we are expecting a press conference here any moment. I'm monitoring that feed for you. You can take a look at it right here. Here it is. You can see they are just putting the finishing touches and making sure that everyone is in place to get this important information. So again, I'm monitoring that feed. Once we do get a signal that the public information officer is releasing the information, I will go ahead and bring that to you.
Remember, guys, we don't want any to be fanning this way, because then all of a sudden this closes in.
Hey, everybody.
Stay on the outskirts.
Thank you guys for your patience. Just to let you know, Hector Yavad, Miami-Dade Police. I'm here with Erica Benitez from Miami-Dade Fire. We're bringing in the officials from each agency involved that's going to talk to you guys in just a few minutes. We're going to be heading out here. Just to let you know, we're not going to answer any questions until everybody's had a chance to speak. Everybody's going to go in order. We're going to do it in English. We're going to go back. We're going to do it in Spanish. And then we'll have questions. Obviously, very limited on the amount of questions we'll be able to answer, as this is obviously an ongoing scene. So just give us a few minutes. It should be here shortly, okay? Erica?
So as you continue to look at live pictures here, you just heard a representative from the Miami-Dade Fire Department, Police Department, who was just telling the media that they are just gathering all the officials that are involved in this investigation here. As you can imagine, there are officials from several different agencies that are going to be investigating this incident that happened at Florida International University here this afternoon. So once all of those officials are gathered together, they will go ahead and brief the media. But again, we are expecting a press briefing here very, very shortly. And again, I will continue to monitor that feed. And once I do see anyone coming up to the mic, I will bring that to you. But if you are just joining us here this afternoon, you're looking at live pictures from Florida International University in Miami, where we are being told from the Florida Highway Patrol that several people have died as a result of a bridge collapse. You can see where this incident happened. It happened right along this intersection at FIU. We are being told that 5 to 6 vehicles were essentially destroyed by this bridge. This bridge fell down on 5 to 6 vehicles. That is what the Florida Highway Patrol is releasing right now. We do expect some more defined numbers from first officials once they do brief the media here in the next couple of minutes. Again, Florida Highway Patrol only saying that multiple people have died as a result of this bridge collapse. Now it is being reported that this bridge was actually just installed on Saturday. It was a pedestrian bridge that was intended to bring students and staff and anyone who was on the FIU campus from the campus area to some off-campus housing and some other dorms that are nearby. But again, we are being told that this bridge was actually just installed on Saturday, part of an over $15 million project is what we are being told, according to the FIU's fact sheet, which was online. But again, I will continue to bring you live pictures here as you look at this bridge collapse that happened at Florida International University. You can see they have now brought a crane into this incident. It is not believed that this crane was anyway involved in this collapse. They just brought this crane in to help with rescue efforts here. As you can see, a car that is completely destroyed, the front half of it right next to that crane. All right, as you look at live pictures of aerials from Florida International University, you can see live pictures where we're again being told that multiple people have died as a result of this bridge collapse. One other camera angle that I did want to show you is just so you can see to the side of where the helicopter is. You can see exactly how big this bridge was and the extent to the ground shot of how it sort of just collapsed right onto the street. Looks like I'm monitoring a couple different feeds here, and it appears that the first responders, the officials that are going to be speaking on behalf of the first responders, looks like they are coming to the mic here. So let me go ahead and get prepared for that. But again, if you are just joining us here, you are looking at live pictures from Florida International University where a bridge collapsed here just a couple of hours ago in a busy intersection on FIU's campus. So this press conference right here will be the first time that we are hearing from officials in Miami in relation to this bridge collapse. So let me go ahead and bring you live pictures out of the piers. This press conference will be getting underway here momentarily.
Mira, vente para mí.
Este es el B5, papi. Alex Casas, director de...
¿Cómo? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sí. Hola Alejandra, Gloria, una lamentable noticia por supuesto que ha movilizado a gran parte de los medios de comunicación de acá, del sur de la Florida, y vemos las imágenes, las autoridades están reunidas y ellos están afinando detalles para entonces dirigirse a los medios de comunicación, a nuestros amigos televidentes y dar detalles de lo que es una noticia lamentable. Ustedes nos decían ya que el senador Bill Nelson estaba hablando de entre 8 y 10 personas fallecidas, así como múltiples.
So again, right now we are just waiting. First responders officials are gathering right now. They are moments away from giving a press briefing for the first time since this incident happened a couple hours ago. Let me go ahead and just show you, if you are just joining us here for the first time, what this bridge collapse looks like in Miami. These are live pictures from Florida International University where this bridge collapsed just a couple hours ago here. We do not have defined numbers, and we are anticipating some more exact numbers from officials here once they do release information. But Florida Highway Patrol has said that multiple people have died as a result of this bridge collapse, and that 5 to 6 vehicles were really destroyed by this bridge here just a couple hours ago in Miami. So again, once again, we are awaiting a press conference from first officials here, first responders, who will be giving, again, information for the very first time since this incident happened just a couple hours ago. But as I bring you back to where this bridge collapse happened, again, this was a pedestrian bridge that was reportedly just installed on Saturday. This bridge was intended for anyone visiting the campus, students, faculty, staff, to walk across this bridge instead of crossing at this intersection, and just to get from the campus to some off-campus dorms. So that was the intention of this pedestrian bridge that, again, was just installed on Saturday. And it appears now that first responders are getting ready to approach the microphone here. So let me go ahead and get you back to where this press conference is just about to get underway here.
Las escucho. Un poco, Gloria, porque va a comenzar ahora la rueda de prensa.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for your patience. We're going to start just to give you a little lineup so you know who's going to be speaking. We have our Deputy Mayor, Miami-Dade County, Maurice Kemp, followed by Miami-Dade Fire Rescue.
Then FHP Mayor. Then we have MDPD.
Can you please step closer to the microphone?
We have MDPD Director Juan Perez. Then we have Sweetwater Mayor Orlando Lopez. And then Commissioner Martinez is present, but he will not be answering any questions at this time.
And we also have a representative from FIU who will be providing a statement. Okay, so with that being said, Deputy Mayor Kemp, please hold your questions to the end.
Good afternoon. Obviously, we have a terrible tragedy here today. With this bridge collapse, we have multiple fire rescue units on the scene. We have our urban search and rescue technicians on the scene. We have our technical rescue technicians on the scene. We also have live search dogs working the plow right now. We have all of the heavy equipment we might need. We have as many as 4 cranes and crane operators. So we're in a full search and rescue mode, and we'll give you more information as it becomes available. We have multiple victims. The number hasn't been determined yet. The final number hasn't been determined yet, and we'll give you more information on that. And Fire Rescue is going to follow me with some more details. Thank you. Also, one last statement. I've been in constant contact with Mayor Jimenez by phone. He's watching the live feed, so he's abreast of what's going on, and he's giving directions as he sees fit. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Paul Estopiñan, Division Chief, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. At approximately 1:30 this afternoon, we received a call for a collapsed bridge. Our units responded to find 8 trapped vehicles under the bridge. At this time, we've transported 8 victims to hospitals. We have over 100 firefighters, technically trained TRT, Technical Rescue Specialists, and our Urban Search and Rescue team working on the area on the bridge to try to find viable victims. Thank you.
Can you speak in Spanish, please?
We'll do Spanish.
We'll do it after.
Spanish second.
Good afternoon. I'm Major Chris Della Pietra of Fort Eye Patrol here in Miami. Just before 2 p.m. this afternoon, the Fort Eye Patrol was notified of a bridge collapse at this location, Southwest 8th Street and 109th Avenue. As our units arrived, along with Miami-Dade Police and Fire, we observed several vehicles that were involved as a result of the collapse. At that time, it shifted to a search and rescue effort. What we are asking the public to do is to please assist us by avoiding the area of Southwest 8th Street between Southwest 107th Avenue and Southwest 117th Avenue indefinitely as this process goes on. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Juan Perez. The Director of the Miami-Dade Police Department. First and foremost, all of our thoughts and prayers go to those the victims of this tragedy that has occurred here today. You've heard from our partners here, many other partners that are out here, law enforcement and firefighters that have come to the aid. We thank them for their efforts. You know, FIU is here, their police department has been great. Our partners from Sweetwater and Doral and so many others that have come. If I miss you, I apologize, but we thank all the agencies that are out here supporting these efforts. Right now, we are assisting in the efforts. Right now, the main focus here by the fire department obviously is to rescue people. And that is what we're assisting with by controlling traffic, assisting FHP with traffic for now. And then we're on standby because as soon as those efforts are over, our Homicide Bureau will take the lead in investigating this tragedy that has occurred. And we will take the lead from that point on. The state attorney is also on standby and waiting to come in and work this case with us. So for right now, that's all we have as far as this incident. And a very important message that I also have is that we have established with a partnership through FIU a reunification center right here at FIU. If you want more information on that, you can contact 305-348-3481. That is the number that has been established for family members that are concerned that maybe their family members or friends are victimized by this incident. If you call that number, we will help you out. If you are one of those family members, or if you're concerned, contact that number. There is an area here to respond for the family members only. FIU police are on standby to escort everybody that comes in that wants to get to that family reunification center where our victim advocates are at, so that they can assist with whatever needs are required of those individuals. The last thing I would like to share is that you heard from FHP about people not coming into the area. Please stay out of the area, and we will advise you when these roads will be open again, but for an extended period of time. But I also need you, the media, to please cooperate with us. There should be no information that's coming out regarding this incident unless it's coming out from us right here in this location. We will periodically update you. We do not need information that is erroneous getting out to the public, because some is already getting out. And what that does is it complicates things. We want to be able to be the ones that contact next of kin. We want to be able to notify family members. Let us do that. We don't want family members to find out that a loved one is involved in this tragic incident because somebody puts it out in the media. So please, I ask you to respect those family members, those that have been impacted. But from the bottom of my heart, please cooperate with us today more than ever, so that others that are impacted are not impacted by watching it on the news. We definitely do not want that. We want it to be controlled. Let us do that. We have victim advocates that are waiting to go with us so that we can deliver the news, whether it's horrible news or whether it's a news that somebody has survived this incident. We would like to do that. If you can cooperate with that, and I would truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Confirmed missing.
We're going to go Spanish, all right? And then, and one thing, please don't ask numbers. Nobody here is going to give you numbers, okay? But the phone number we'll give, yes. And what we're going to do is we're going to post it on social media. We will give it to you. Our PIOs are going to do it, but for right now, it's 305-348-3481. And I'll repeat it later on in Spanish, and we will give it to you guys via social media as well. You want to do it in Spanish again, right? Yeah, they're going to do
Good afternoon, everybody. As Mayor of the City of Sweetwater, we stand here today in solidarity. We've had a national tragedy here on our hands with the collapse of this bridge. What was soon to become an iconic staple part in the connectivity between the city and the university has actually turned out to be a national tragedy. Our hearts are here, extended out to the victims that were actually able to be transported away, as well as those that may not be walking away from the scene. I'd like to thank all law enforcement agencies as well as local government that have cooperated with us. I've had numerous calls from all the law enforcement agencies and first responders. Thank you. Those are the true heroes here, trying to save and search for all the victims that could still be trapped under the bridge. It was shocking news today at 1:48 when I received a call from a mechanic that works directly across the street from the Sweetwater and says the bridge just collapsed. I can hear the crackling in his voice as he's telling me this. And this was just devastating. Had to rush to the city as quick as possible to assess this and try to work with all law enforcement and search and rescue agencies. One kudos that I'd actually like to give out is to one of Miami-Dade police officers, Sergeant Dolan, who actually owns a business directly across the bridge. He was the first responder that actually worked there, and according to his wife, because he's still too broken up to respond to this, he worked on a victim for 15 minutes to maintain that person alive. Thank you to all first responders. As Director Perez was saying, try to keep all communications to this establishment and not from anybody else. There has been a lot of false messages going out. Try to limit it to this call center, please, if you don't mind.
Can you correct some of the false news?
Hold your questions to the end, guys, please. We have plenty of people that have to speak.
Can you answer whether it was open to the other foot traffic yet, or still just construction crews?
Questions will be
Answer
answered
the questions at the end.
Good afternoon. My name is Ken Jessel. I'm Vice President for Finance and CFO at FIU. Obviously, our hearts are broken over this tragedy that has impacted a good number of people. Right now, our first priority is with the family and friends of the victims, and we are going to do anything and everything we can to assist them during this process. We have mechanisms in place to provide the highest level of assistance, and we will provide whatever assistance is needed. I would like to echo the comments of my colleagues that have been up here The first responders have been absolutely amazing. They've been here in just a matter of minutes to assist those in need. We have and will continue to work with them as well as the appropriate governmental authorities as this tragedy is investigated. Thank you.
Buenos días, Al Cruz, jefe de Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. Alrededor de las 1:30 de la tarde, una tragedia enorme pasó aquí en la 109 y la 8 calle. Un puente se colapsó y en ese momento varios trabajadores, no estaba abierto todavía para el público, pero los trabajadores estaban ahí. Y las unidades de Miami-Dade Fire Rescue respondieron al área y transportaron en los rescates 8 pacientes. En este momento tenemos 8 carros atrapados bajo del puente y tenemos muchas unidades, alrededor de 100 bomberos y paramédicos, muchos que están especializados en materiales especiales de técnico y también materiales peligrosos. Ustedes saben que el departamento de nosotros mundialmente se conoce para ir a desastres nacional e internacional. Esos están trabajando en este momento alrededor del reloj para estar seguros que podemos ayudar a todas las personas que puedan. Esta tragedia de esta enorme es algo que el departamento de nosotros, como ya estamos respondiendo a huracanes, terremotos y otros casos así, y también tenemos muchas unidades alrededor de todo el condado especializadamente para situaciones así. Lo que le puedo decir en este momento es que estamos buscando en rescate las personas y bueno, en este momento no está estabilizado todavía el puente, solamente están trabajando los bomberos y los paramédicos para poder si tenemos a alguien que podemos sacar lo más rápido posible. Gracias.
¿Cuánto tiempo se estima que...
Una pregunta hasta final, por favor.
Yo Sánchez, vocero del Departamento de Carretera del Estado de la Florida. A las 2 de esta tarde recibimos varias llamadas a nuestro departamento de conductores reportando que el puente peatonal de la 109 se había derrumbado sobre unos autos. Nuestros miembros de la patrulla respondieron a asegurar la escena del accidente y empezar a desviar el tráfico para empezar la investigación. Estamos trabajando incansablemente con todas las agencias que están aquí en este momento. Le pedimos a todos los conductores que por favor nos ayuden a nosotros en la manera que se mantengan distancia de esta zona. Tenemos en este momento la 107 y la 117 cerradas desviando el tráfico mientras continúa la investigación. Muchísimas gracias.
Buenas tardes, Juan Pérez, Departamento de Policía del Condado de Miami-Dade. Hoy el departamento nosotros en estos momentos estamos ayudando a los esfuerzos de los bomberos del Condado de Miami-Dade, mientras tanto que ellos están tratando de rescatar las personas que todavía están ahí en la tragedia esta. Primero de nada, como jefe de policía, como residente del condado y como de parte del departamento, nosotros las oraciones de nosotros y todos los pensamientos para las víctimas de esta tragedia hoy en el condado de nosotros, una cosa que nunca se espera. Entonces nada, aquí estamos esperando, vamos a trabajar juntos lado a lado con el departamento de Highway Patrol a investigar este incidente. Ellos van a investigar parte del incidente, los homicidios los vamos a investigar nosotros. Ya los equipos de nosotros, de investigadores, ya está aquí presente esperando. Esto va a ser para largo una investigación que sabemos que esas calles van a estar cerradas por mucho tiempo. Lo que le pedimos a la comunidad que por favor no vengan, ya le han pedido muchas veces ya que no vengan para el área, que se queden lejos de esta área para no afectar lo que estamos tratando de hacer, es rescatar a estas personas. Nosotros hemos abierto aquí en colaboración con la universidad aquí de FIU, de Florida International University, un área de reunificación para los familiares de las víctimas que puedan venir a esperar aquí. Si tienen preguntas, si quieren saber si alguna de las víctimas es familia o amigo, pueden llamar a este número 305-348-3481. Ese es el número que ya está abierto ya, que pueden llamar sobre información sobre lo que pasó aquí hoy en esta tragedia. También le estamos pidiendo que por favor a ustedes las medias de noticieros aquí del condado y nacional, que por favor no ponga nada en las noticias que no salga de las ruedas de prensa de aquí o que no salga de las medias sociales de nosotros, del condado, de la policía o de los bomberos. ¿Por qué? Porque lo que no queremos saber es que se enteren los familiares de las personas que están aquí, que están heridos o que han fallecido en este incidente, que aprendan de esa noticia en los televisores, en las noticieras. Por favor, ese nivel de cooperación hace falta. Nosotros somos los que queremos ir a tocarle las puertas de esos familiares y esos amigos de las noticias que van a recibir, que van a ser bien tristes normalmente. Dejen nosotros hacer ese trabajo. Nosotros vamos a tratar de darle la información a ustedes lo más rápido posible, mientras que entre esta información esté preparada ya para poder anunciarla. Esto se va a demorar. Todos los números que le han dado son promedios, pero eso van a cambiar todos esos números. ¿Por qué? Porque todavía están trabajando muy duro ahí los oficiales o bomberos para llegar debajo de ese puente, para ver quién está ahí abajo, cuántas víctimas hay ahí abajo. ¿Está bien? Entonces, de parte también de Maurice Kemp, que es el vicealcalde, él quería decirle a ustedes que ha estado en comunicación constante desde que pasó este incidente con el alcalde del condado de Miami-Dade. El alcalde ya lo han avisado y ha estado toda la noche llamando, noche allá, es día aquí pero noche allá, ha estado en comunicación constante y sabe las noticias que están pasando y manda también sus oraciones y los pensamientos para todos que están afectados por este incidente que ha pasado hoy. Entonces también queríamos pedirle gracias también al chairman Esteban Bobo y a todos que han venido, también el comisionado Martínez que está aquí, el gobernador viene para acá, el vicegobernador que está aquí y todos que están apoyando el incidente que pasó aquí. Le pedimos las gracias también, oraciones para todas las víctimas por favor y los vemos pronto de nuevo más tardecita. Las preguntas por favor, the questions. Unas cuantas preguntas solamente lo que podemos responder. ¿Está bien?
Fallecidos hasta ahora, vehículos atrapados, muertos.
Buenas tardes a todos. Como alcalde de la ciudad de Sweetwater, estamos en este momento hablando con los residentes del condado Dade y a nivel de los Estados Unidos. Esto es una tragedia a nivel nacional, que hace una semana mismo estábamos celebrando lo que era el transporte del puente sobre la 109 Avenida y la calle 8 de Southwest. Y hoy estamos aquí reportando que el puente se ha caído. Han habido varios heridos debajo del puente. Le estamos pidiendo por favor a todas las personas que traten de nada más que recibir los informes a través de estas conferencias de prensa, en cual las estadísticas y las verdades van a salir a través del vocero del condado policiaco de Miami-Dade, Juan Pérez, y del departamento de bomberos. Han habido muchas noticias falsas que han sido reportadas hasta el momento. Estamos pidiéndole por favor que no las traten de reportar. Le estamos pidiendo a los conductores de vehículos que traten de evitar esta área. Está muy congestionada. Estamos tratando de apoyar en todo lo posible a las agencias policíacas y los bomberos que están investigando estas escenas, y por favor a los conductores que traten de evitar de manejar por esta área todo lo posible. Muchas gracias a todos y estamos aquí tratando de apoyar a las personas que fueron heridas en este colapso del puente.
Alcalde, ¿cómo no le merece que el puente acaba de ser inaugurado?
Okay, hold on. Let's make the questions one at a time and direct them to who you want them to be. Police.
The Division Chief, how many people do you believe are still trapped right now?
Director, anybody who can answer whether a stress test was being performed.
Yeah, one at a time, please.
Can anybody
I can't tell you how many.
Yeah.
I can only tell you how many we've transported so far, and that's 8. I can assure you that our teams are still in rescue and search mode. They're still working the debris pile. We have search dogs in place. We have technical listening devices and fiber optics. We're drilling holes into the pile to try to locate any viable patients.
So there are people there, or you just don't know?
We don't know at this point. We're still in search and rescue mode.
Has anyone been declared dead already? Have anyone?
I can't speak to that at this time.
When's the last time somebody was pulled out alive?
There was a stress test being conducted on the bridge at the time.
So again, I'll go with one question at a time. I'm sorry.
Those type of questions can only be answered once we begin the investigation and probably towards the end of the investigation. Causes of what occurred here today will not be, we will not speak to that right now. and it'll probably be days before we can ever make that assumption, because obviously this takes an intense investigation, and we're not even there yet. The next few hours is going to be a rescue mission. So if you have questions, keep it to the rescue mission, to the victim notification, those type of questions, because that's the only thing we can answer right now, because it's too early.
How long has it been since the last person was rescued alive?
The last patient was transported approximately 45 minutes ago.
Condition?
I can't speak to that at this time.
How concerned are you about the structural integrity as you still look for?
I can tell you that our technicians are working with construction crews that are on site. We're concerned with a portion of the bridge. They are working the north side of the bridge with dogs and personnel, and we're actively trying to stabilize areas to continue the search.
So you concerned about that part that's leaning 30 degrees into the road? Is that the part that you're...
That's correct.
Okay. Did the audio listening devices help you guys locate anybody?
I can't speak to that at this moment because the teams were entering the bridge area, the debris field, the hot zone, while I was walking over here. So I can't give you an update on that yet.
For the timeline from now on through the rest of the evening, what's going to be happening? So obviously you want people to stay out of the area, but can you walk us through the process from here on in?
I can tell you that there's going to be a long incident. We're going to have rescuers here probably through the night, if not longer. The focus at this point is going to remain on search and rescue. We have over 100 technicians here working in this area that have many years of experience working on collapsed with concrete, so you can expect the heavy equipment moving certain areas of the bridge little by little, creating safe zones that they can continue their search.
¿Puede precisar cuántos heridos, por favor, o cuántas personas trasladaron hasta los hospitales?
I'm sorry, I heard so many. I can't speak to how many victims in the car. We're still continuing our search.
But there's 3 people in every car.
I can't speak to that. We can only see 8 from the exterior of the bridge, of the collapsed area. We're working our way into the pile, trying to create holes that we can actually physically see.
What type of information did you get from the construction site manager about who was working where, who was on the bridge? What did they tell you?
The only thing I can speak to is that we did get reports that there were workers on the bridge. When our units arrived, they did have some surface rescues that they facilitated, plus 2 victims that they were able to cut out and extricate from the debris. That was part of the 8 that I mentioned earlier.
¿Puede precisar cuántas personas trasladaron heridas y en qué condiciones estaban, por favor?
Por favor, si te puede...
Just one more question.
At what point
I got a
did you
question
start
in English for
debris?
the director, if I can. Director, you could not say how many people have died here at this point, right? You don't know. You're not able to say.
We're not confirming any deaths or anything like that right now. Right now, what we're saying is victims or casualties of this incident, but that's all we're saying right now.
Senator Nelson said 6 to 10. Does that sound something right to you?
What Senator Nelson says, I cannot answer to.
But how many are missing?
We don't know that. We
And
don't
of
know
the
that.
people taken to the hospital, what condition are they in?
Again, the fire department is the ones that transported them. They're not saying that right now. They're not confirming anything. Obviously, it's a tragedy of a collapsed building. So we know that at minimal, there's a lot of serious injuries with the people that were transported.
Director, how many? Is a representative of the construction company here? And for the gentleman from the county, MCM does a lot of business with the county. Has over a number of years. Can you tell us how many other projects at the moment MCM is working on with the county?
Really, I would have no clue right now.
Yeah, we need to
But they
stick
are
to
here on
the
site.
yeah, they're on site, but we need to focus in on the tragedy that occurred here, not look so much ahead or behind. Let us get through this point here. We'll have further press conferences.
I know that with
Last question, we're going to
Highway
Spanish.
Patrol said this areas are closed indefinitely, but what are we talking about? Like a week, a month?
That's indeterminable at this time, but it's obvious, as I stated earlier, for the public to avoid traveling on Southwest 8th Street between 107th Avenue and 117th Avenue indefinitely. This is going to be a long, arduous process. We ask for the media's assistance getting the word out. We ask for the public's assistance adhering to that. Thank you.
All right, Spanish. We're going to go to Spanish now.
Permiso, director, esta es una tragedia bien seria.
Any English? Any other English?
La pregunta es... Director, es una tragedia bien seria y sabemos de personas de la comunidad que están bastante preocupadas, angustiadas, porque no saben si sus familiares se encuentran allí. Ellos se han comunicado con ustedes, no pueden decir cifras, pero ¿le han confirmado a algún familiar que su familiar ha perdido la vida?
Esa información ahora no tenemos, señor.
¿Pero se ha comunicado a los familiares con usted?
En estos momentos esa información no se sabe.
¿Cuántas personas fueron trasladadas en el momento hacia los hospitales? ¿Cuántas están en hospitales en este momento?
8 personas fueron trasladadas hasta el hospital. 8 personas.
8 autos atrapados. ¿Han podido sacar alguna de las víctimas
Bueno,
de esos 8 autos?
ese número es, esto va a cambiar todo. Eso es, ¿cómo es? Primario. 8 por ahora, que se sabe.
¿Cuántos autos han podido ya sacar algunas víctimas heridas?
You mentioned 2 people, right? 2 people were from the car. You extracted 2?
Sí, nosotros encontramos 2 personas que estaban atrapadas, pero la pudimos sacar sin hacer mucho tipo de técnico, 2, y las llevamos para el hospital en los carros, no abajo del puente.
De los trabajadores que estaban...
Habían varios trabajadores en el puente cuando llegaron las unidades de rescate, y entonces pues cuando vieron que se había caído el puente, correcto.
Sí, ahora te escucho, ahora sí. Y en los autos que están atrapados 8, hay personas dentro.
En este momento no podemos decir porque no sabemos, nada más que sabemos que hemos encontrado lo mínimo de 8 carros.
De los heridos que han sido trasladados, ¿cuáles eran sus condiciones?
En ese momento no le puedo decir.
We'll brief you on the next one.
We're live. That's it?
What time's the next one, Alvaro? What time's the next one?
We're going to see that now. We're going to let you know now.
So,
We'll
folks,
send it on Twitter.
again, you know, the mayor sends his regards from China. He is on county business, or else he would be here. El alcalde le manda todas oraciones a las víctimas. Él está en la China, haciendo trabajo del condado, pero él no pudo estar aquí y se manda los pensamientos de él.
La próxima rueda de prensa, ¿a qué hora?
Ahora te aviso en Twitter.
Okay.
Not yet.
For our next press conference, we'll be briefing you. Please follow us on social media. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, Miami-Dade PD. La próxima conferencia de prensa la vamos a anunciar. Por favor, síganos todavía en los medios sociales. Gracias.
All right, right now you're looking at live pictures. We were showing you the scene where the bridge collapse happened at Florida International University. We are now being told that a press conference is happening at a nearby hospital where some of the victims were taken. So we will monitor this scene for you, and once we do hear from officials at Kendall Regional Medical Center in South Florida, we will go ahead and bring that to you. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and switch it back and continue to show you live pictures of the bridge collapse in Miami.
Okay. I'm Dr. McKenney. I'm the Trauma Medical Director at Kendall Regional. These are my partners and managers in surgery. Today, Fire Rescue notified Kendall Regional of a mass casualty situation. We mobilized trauma surgeons, orthopedic surgeons, emergency physicians, and neurosurgeons. Kendall received 10 level 1 trauma patients from the bridge collapse. One of the patients arrived in cardiac arrest. His heart was restarted and he went emergently to the operating room. He is currently in critical condition in the intensive care unit with head and chest injuries. Another patient arrived in coma with severe extremity injuries, and he is currently in the operating room with neurosurgery and orthopedic surgery. He remains in critical condition. 8 other patients were admitted to the hospital with their traumatic injuries but are in stable condition.
Can you go into detail about the patients that are in stable condition, what sort of injuries that they sustained?
There's a variety of injuries with 8 patients, everything from bruises and abrasions all the way to broken bones. But they're all in stable condition and no severe brain injuries.
Can you talk about how you guys prepare for stuff like this?
We run mock drills on this to be ready when this situation occurs, like most trauma centers. And we all have everybody's contact numbers, and when a mass casualty situation is called by fire rescue, everybody is mobilized and arrives to the hospital. Surgeons, emergency physicians, neurosurgeons, orthopedic surgeons, radiologists, nurses, and are here to take care of the patients. So we have probably 20 or 30 physicians that aren't in front right here that are ongoing taking care of the patients to make sure everybody gets the best care.
Is your staff still on standby? Are you waiting for more patients? What's your status right now?
Fire rescue notified us that we're unlikely to get any more critical patients. We're still all in the building though, just in case.
Can you go into detail a little bit more about how you are getting ready? Of course, the rescue efforts continue, and at any moment there could be many more victims that come your way. How are you getting ready? How are you ready for that?
We have a couple dozen physicians and surgeons that aren't in front here, that are in back, ready for the patients. The 8 have been stabilized. They look good. The 2 have been operated on. So we're ready and available to take more critical patients if needed, but fire rescue has notified us that it's unlikely for any more significant numbers of patients.
What's the age range? Of course, the campus is on spring break.
You know, some of the patients were critical and we didn't get an age, but I would say the age range is 20 to 50.
And do you know if any other patients were taken to other hospitals?
I heard through the grapevine, because some of the other surgeons were texting back and forth, that some went to other hospitals.
So there could be more than 10 trauma patients.
Absolutely.
Have you guys dealt with this before?
This is the biggest casualty all at one time. We run mass casualty drills regularly, and we've routinely gotten smaller numbers, 3, 4, 5, 8 patients at a time, but 10 level 1s at one time was our biggest.
How long was it between the time when the first patient came in and the last one came in? How long?
Time stands still in these situations, but I think maybe 45 minutes? Yeah, less than an hour probably.
What time did you receive the last? Sorry, Hank. When was the last patient you received?
I haven't looked at my clock or watch since I got notified of the mass casualty. I couldn't even hardly tell you what time it is right now.
Could you give us just a quick rundown on the numbers that are here and their condition one more time?
10 patients. 2 are extremely critical. Both were operated on emergently. And 8 other patients who have injuries but are in stable condition.
Fortunately, we're not too far away from the scene of where this happened. How did that play a role in terms of getting these patients here and treating them as quickly as you could?
One of the factors that the Department of Health follows is the travel time for the fire rescue team. They like to have it as short as possible for the critical patients. So we happen to be close by, that worked out.
And to that point again, what time did the first patient come in? Did you say that?
I wasn't even looking at my watch or clock or my phone when this all started. I don't know if you recall the exact time.
Approximately 3 o'clock.
Approximately
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
Time stands still in these situations, and time really doesn't matter. Everybody just gets mobilized and starts taking care of patients.
Is there any offer?
Yeah, we can redo it. We can do this in Spanish. My partner is bilingual, and happy to answer questions and give the statement in Spanish.
Hola. ¿Su nombre, por favor? Yo soy el doctor Orlando Morejón, soy uno de los cirujanos de trauma aquí en este hospital. ¿Puede explicar cuál ha sido la atención que le han dado durante el día de hoy a los heridos? Sí, cómo no. Nosotros recibimos 10 pacientes de este accidente terrible. Movilizamos a todos nuestros cirujanos de trauma, nuestros doctores de sala de emergencia, cirujanos ortopédicos y los neurocirujanos. Recibimos, como le dije, 10 pacientes. Debido al colapso del puente. Uno de estos pacientes llegó a nuestra facilidad, a nuestro hospital, básicamente muerto. Le recomenzamos el corazón y se operó de emergencia. Permanece en un estado crítico en nuestra unidad de cuidado intensivo a este punto. Recibimos otro paciente también crítico, el cual fue operado por nuestro servicio de neurocirugía y cirujanos ortopédicos, y también se mantiene en condiciones críticas. Aparte de esos dos, recibimos 8 otros pacientes que no están en condiciones críticas y parecen estar más estables, los cuales la mayoría serán ingresados también al hospital para observación.
Esos 8 pacientes estables, ¿puede explicarnos básicamente qué fue lo que sufrieron?
Sí, cómo no. Hay una variedad de heridas y de severidad. todo de cortadas pequeñas hasta huesos fracturados.
¿Nos puede explicar básicamente a partir de qué hora ustedes comenzaron a recibir a todos estos pacientes?
Fue aproximadamente a las 2 de la tarde cuando recibimos la noticia, y aparte del servicio que normalmente tenemos listos para cuidar 4, 5, 6 pacientes, tenemos una reserva y toda la reserva se movilizó inmediatamente. Tenemos aproximadamente 20 o 30 cirujanos y doctores de sala de emergencias y de varias especialidades listos para aceptar más pacientes ya a este punto.
O sea que en los próximos minutos o horas ustedes podrían estar recibiendo más pacientes.
¿Cómo no?
¿Podría explicarnos la magnitud de esto y cuán preparados ustedes estaban para esta emergencia?
Sí, cómo no. Esta es la emergencia involucrando la más alta cantidad de pacientes que hemos tenido desde que abrió el centro, pero nosotros entrenamos de rutina para escenarios como este, así que estábamos listos, gracias a Dios, y estamos listos todavía para más pacientes si es necesario.
¿Ustedes saben si aparte del Kendall Regional hay más heridos en otros hospitales por comunicaciones que han tenido con sus colegas?
Sí, hemos oído que hay otros pacientes que fueron llevados a otros hospitales y no tenemos los detalles sobre esos.
Doctor, ¿cómo usted podría describir, al ver el cuadro de estos pacientes, la magnitud de esta tragedia en el día de hoy?
Es una tragedia severa. La mayoría de personas no están acostumbrados a ver pacientes que están heridos. Nosotros sí. Lo que no estamos acostumbrados es ver esta cantidad de pacientes. Pero afortunadamente nos entrenamos para escenarios especialmente como este, específicamente.
Usted incluso habló de un paciente que llegó con un arresto cardíaco, prácticamente muerto. O sea, aquí ustedes tuvieron que resucitar.
Exacto.
Fue un proceso bastante largo, ¿no?
No necesariamente largo en tiempo porque actuamos rápidamente, pero un proceso muy complicado, con muchas partes moviéndose, muchos especialistas haciendo de su parte, y los enfermeros, todo el mundo, el equipo entero. Los administradores también que entraron para ayudar a manejar la situación, y básicamente, aunque no habíamos tenido un escenario como este en el pasado, estábamos listos para este.
Se habla de literalmente salvaron esa vida. Veo que usted más o menos, me imagino que tiene algún tipo de detalle de lo que han atendido durante el día de hoy, si están amables.
Sí.
¿Se identifica, por favor?
Mi nombre es Marcela Ramírez, soy una doctora cirujana de trauma con especialidad en cuidados intensivos. Sí, como todo el equipo, yo he sido parte para atender y cuidar a estos pacientes que vinieron severamente heridos y con muchas fracturas. Tuvimos este paciente, yo estuve involucrada con el paciente que estaba que tenía el paro al corazón, que le dimos muchas transfusiones de sangre. Nosotros, el banco de sangre de nosotros está listo para toda cantidad de sangre que necesitemos. Hasta ahora lleva como 15, 20 unidades de sangre que le hemos dado a este paciente. Le hemos estado resucitando, haciendo masaje para el corazón, hasta ahora él fue para cirugía con mi compañero. Él ahora está todavía crítico, pero todavía está aquí con nosotros.
Estamos hablando de un hombre aproximadamente ¿qué edad?
Como unos 30 años.
Por lo menos ustedes pudieron salvar esa vida.
Sí, y estamos aquí listos siempre para salvar todas las otras vidas que vengan, a lo que esté en las manos de nosotros.
Doctora, nunca antes ustedes habían tenido un escenario como este aquí en el hospital. ¿Nos puede explicar la manera en la que ustedes han respondido?
No, nosotros hemos tenido así como varios pacientes de trauma. Este es un evento que no había pasado antes aquí en Miami, pero sí hemos tenido pacientes que vienen 4 o 5 de accidentes de carro que pueden venir casi al mismo tiempo y nosotros estamos listos para atender todos estos pacientes. Nosotros también tenemos entrenamientos que se trae, entrenamos con los residentes porque también este es un centro educativo. Entrenamos con los residentes y hacemos simulacros de un evento como este. Y entonces hemos estado preparados. Tuvimos un simulacro ahora a fin de año, como en octubre o noviembre, tuvimos uno. Y ahora tenemos uno planeado en abril para eso, para que todo el staff, todo el personal que trabaja en el hospital esté listo para este tipo de evento.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.